As the summer ends and fall begins, there has been quite a few new culture shocks for us as foreigners living in Germany. But there's one that even most Germans don't know exists.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie.
And I'm Aubrey.
And we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe. Of course, moving to Germany has brought a lot of culture shocks that we notice right off the bat. But some things are a little less obvious or may only happen in specific seasons and therefore goes unnoticed until it is their time to shine. For example, with German Bundestag elections happening once every 4 years or unique school year starting traditions only happening once a year, there are just some cultural differences you won't learn about a country unless you happen to be there during that time. Well, there are a lot of those types of things going on right now, including one German holiday that involves all the males in one village drinking goat's blood. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about today in our video, unique seasonal German traditions in our cultural experience expeditions.
Our experiences are definitely specific to where we are originally from, a state in the southern US called Oklahoma, and where we live now in the southwestern German state of Rhineland-Pfalz. Both of these places have their own unique subcultures that may not be representative of the two countries as a whole. Therefore, let us know your experiences with these things in the comments below and where you're from. Also, if you're from a different country than these two, we want to hear about what these things are like where you live.
A new school year has begun in Germany for most school children, and with that brought some very interesting differences we started noticing, including one thing being sold in stores that we had never seen before. This thing also is used on all sorts of back to school signs as the symbol of a new school year starting that is very unique to Germany. What we are specifically talking about are called different names depending on what part of Germany you are in, but can be called a Schultüte or a Zuckertüte. At first glance, honestly, to an outsider and foreigner, they just look like birthday party hats being sold in stores, but we soon learned they are definitely not that.
It seems this tradition varies a lot from region to region or even home to home, so we need you to tell us what you know about these in the comments below. But basically what we have learned is that these are typically cone-shaped bags that are filled with sweets, toys, and school supplies, and they are given to children as they start their very first day of school ever. So not every year on the first day of school, but just that very first day as they are going into the first grade. The ones that we saw in stores can be bought already decorated, but most of the time they are decorated at home by either the parent or the child, depending on their tradition. The kids then take them to school on their first day, and all the kids are able to show each other their Schultüten and how they are decorated because they often reflect their personal interests and personalities.
It seems like it makes the whole day a little more exciting and like a major life milestone that they get to celebrate as they begin their long education. But because we never got to celebrate this, we would love if we could get our German viewers to write in the comments what their Schultüte traditions are, how theirs was decorated, when did you open yours, and what was in yours exactly.
The next unique thing wouldn't typically be seasonal, but because of the worldwide situation and German lockdowns, movie theaters have finally started to open back up here, and it has allowed us to notice some differences about going to the movies here in Germany compared to the US that we hadn't gotten the chance to really experience yet. We will be doing a whole video specifically on the differences between going to the movies in the US versus in Germany, but for now, one of the biggest differences that we have noticed is with popcorn. When we have bought popcorn at the movies here in Germany, we have always been asked the follow-up question of salzig oder süß, meaning, do we want salty or sweet popcorn?
In the US, we normally are also given an option of what type of popcorn we want, but it usually is butter or no butter and never salty or sweet. Some American theaters may offer kettle corn, which is a sweet popcorn, but kettle corn is sweet and salty, unlike German sweet popcorn, which is just plain popcorn sweetened with sugar. I also have to mention that this is not limited to just movie theaters in Germany. When we buy popcorn in grocery stores, a vast majority of the popcorn being sold will be sweet popcorn, unlike in the US where it is almost always varying degrees of butteriness. Now you can add butter to your popcorn in some German movie theaters as well, but overall the sweet popcorn experience is what has been very unique and interesting for us as we had never seen it before. So sometimes there are some differences that we come across that we really have no idea what it is, and there may not even be a great English explanation of what is going on. Because of that, it is great to be able to read the culture's language or talk to someone in their native language to be able to learn about the cultural differences. Because of that, take a moment to hit that like and subscribe buttons while we tell you about our amazing partner and sponsor of this video, Chatterbug Streams. If you are trying to learn a language, we don't want you guys to watch our videos and make you think that you have to live in a foreign country to fully immerse yourself in their culture or language in order to learn.
Chatterbug Streams is an awesome mobile app that is going to help dramatically increase your confidence and comprehension of a new language with fun and interactive immersive learning through live stream videos. Their videos are tailored to your language level and hosted by native speakers that are extremely fun to watch. You also are able to interact with other people during the live stream to be able to practice in a real and practical way.
Because we live so close to France now and pop over quite often for day trips, I need to start learning some French. Because Chatterbug Streams also makes their live stream libraries available on demand, I was able to pick from fun topics that interest me like sports or food and start learning. Chatterbug Streams also offers very affordable subscription-based packages as low as €1.66 per month with an annual subscription. Try Chatterbug Streams for free for 7 days by downloading it from your app store today.
German Bundestag elections are upon us, and that has meant that everywhere from the largest cities to the smallest villages, all have been filled with political posters. Off of every street lamp or along every major road, you will find these political posters that are small and often have the headshot of a politician with a political slogan. The difference is kind of hard to explain because, of course, we also have political posters and signs around the US once elections are coming up, but German posters just look very different.
For one, it is the number of them. Of course, in the US, we are used to seeing posters for mainly just 2 political parties. But in Germany, you see posters for many different parties, meaning there are some polls with political signs climbing to the top, all from different parties. The other thing is the size. In the US, it seems that most of our political signs and posters are landscape oriented, but German ones are more like a large piece of paper that are in portrait orientation. There are some large ones as well, but this is what we mostly see. German posters are also only allowed out 6 weeks before the elections, whereas in some parts of the US, political yard signs can just become part of the landscape of some homes, just like any other yard ornament. When I first came to Germany in 2014 to study abroad and live with a German family, my host mother picked me up to take me to their house, and in that very first car ride, I noticed these political posters hanging on the trees and lampposts. I remember asking what they were because they just looked so unique and different for me, so I didn't even recognize that they were political campaign posters.
But the biggest difference are the pictures on many of the posters. Some political parties just have slogans, catchphrases, or political promises on them, but the headshots on the posters are what is the most different for us. A vast majority of political signs in the US are just the names of the politicians without a photograph. For the most part, I think this is just because on the ballot you will just see their name, so they are really drilling the name into your head rather than their face. But German political posters often look like a nice resume photo or an entertainer's headshot of the politician.
There is one thing that we have noticed in many small villages around southern and specifically southwest Germany where we live, and actually, I'm really interested in knowing if you are German and not from this region. Do you know what this is? Before we tell you, let's see just how regional this tradition is based on our comments, because based on our experience, this is an extremely regional and niche German tradition.
This long piñata-looking pole is known as a Kurvestrasse and is put up during the tradition of Kurve, which takes place in the September or October timeframe for many villages and cities in our area. Now, here is the thing about Kurve. We have talked to many Germans in our area and all have a difficult time explaining what Kurve is or why it is even a holiday in the first place. For the most part, traditions surrounding Kurve do vary from village to village, with each having their own rituals or even names for the holiday like Kurve, Kerb, Kirmes, or sometimes even just Dorffest. It is also kind of hard to find information online about the holiday, but the short story is Kurve comes from the German word Kirchweih, or church consecration. Kurve is celebrated on the weekend after the village church was originally consecrated. The festival usually runs from Saturday until Tuesday in smaller communities and all week in cities. If they are large enough, some cities may even have more than one Kurve in a year.
Now, we haven't gotten to actually experience this tradition yet, but from stories we have been told by our local German friends, Kurve is filled with dancing, speeches, eating, and of course, lots of drinking. It seems like every village also has developed their own very unique traditions or cultures surrounding the holiday, with the most unique traditions we have heard being about one very small village nearby having the males camp out in the town during the holiday and having them drink the blood of a slaughtered goat. Many of the traditions we have heard seem to have lost their explanation for why they are doing it, besides just, that's just the way we have always done it. But one thing that is fairly consistent amongst all of them is that the unmarried youth in the town decorate a pole with colorful ribbons, and then it will be hung off either the town hall or some other structure in the center of town. Other rival villages will try and steal the other town's Kervestrauss, but in the end, they are left out all year as the weather fades away the color of the ribbons and can finally be replaced by a new one at the next year's celebration. So again, this holiday seems extremely broad and different from village to village. So let us know if your town celebrates Kerva and what does it look like for you guys.
With us now heading into the fall, we want to know what other things might come up that are fall traditions across Germany that we may never have seen before. Let us know those in the comments.
To see who made it this far into the video, the random question of the week is pumpkin spice everything or pumpkin spice nothing? Which fall category do you fall into? Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Please make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and we will see you in our next video.
Cheers.
Honestly, to an outsider, foreigner, they just look, did I say outsider, foreigner, weird?
I thought you meant to do that.
I didn't. Honestly, to an outsider, foreigner, that
Struggling today.
I'm struggling today.
And where we live now in this, and where we live now in the southwestern German